The use of cutting machines to saw or split wood is no longer unfamiliar in our daily lives. However, not everyone who uses them understands how the machine works. If you are not familiar with it, watch this video to supplement your knowledge and make it easier to use the cutting machine. The tree cutting machine is known as a product line that is widely used in the logging and wood processing industry, often used by woodworking factories or professional workers. This is an essential tool for felling large or small trees. Specifically, in this video, you can see a man cutting down a tree in the forest. He looks strong and healthy with a wood cutting machine in his hands. He wears protective clothing to protect his body while performing the cutting operation. He stands in front of a tree to prepare for felling, holding the cutting machine firmly in both hands, ready to cut the tree. When performing the cutting operation, his machine makes a loud noise as the saw blade cuts through the trunk of the tree, creating wood chips and debris around. He made a great effort to keep the cutting machine stable on the surface of the tree, ensuring that the saw blade cuts in the right direction and does not get stuck. Next, he cuts a curved line on the upper part of the trunk. After completing this cut, he proceeds to cut the trunk from the bottom. Then, he cuts along the cutting line to cut deeply into the trunk of the tree. To make it easier for the saw blade to go deep into the trunk of the tree, he used hard pieces of wood to fix and used an axe to push the wood pieces to create space, creating the force for the tree to quickly fall down. With skillful and decisive actions, he quickly and accurately cut down the tree. In another tree, the man continued his tree cutting work. He firmly held the cutting machine with both hands, with his right hand holding the handle behind his left hand grasping the front handle. Next, he turned on the machine and lowered the saw blade down to the wood at an angle of about 45 degrees. He moved the handheld saw along a straight line and used just the right amount of force to cut through the wood. As soon as he began cutting the wood, he had to approach the tree and determine the cutting position to avoid the falling debris or branches on his head or other dangerous locations. He continued cutting the tree until the trunk separated from the tree. During the cutting process, he always paid attention to the thickness of the wood, cutting force, and cutting angle to ensure the cutting blade was accurate and safe. Especially, he always maintained a high level of concentration when performing the cutting operation to complete the task accurately and safely. For large trees, a similar cutting machine operates based on the principle of the rotating motion of the saw blade. As the saw blade passes through the tree trunk and moves back and forth, it will move according to the twisting motion of the lumberjack's hand to cut the wood. The saw blade is made of high-quality carbon steel and is sharpened to provide precise and fast cutting. The large cutting machine is designed with a main handle and an auxiliary handle, along with an engine block and a saw blade. The main handle is used by the lumberjack to control the saw blade's movement, while the auxiliary handle helps position and keep the wood in the necessary position for cutting. When the saw operates, the engine will generate a twisting force and a rotational movement to the saw blade through a transmission system. The saw blade will rotate quickly and cut the large tree trunk in the direction of the lumberjack's movement. Depending on the depth of the cut into the tree trunk, the lumberjack will adjust the saw blade speed to quickly fell the tree. After trees are cut down, they will be transported to the gathering point by trucks or trailers. To transport the trees from the forest, people will prepare the necessary tools and equipment such as chains, ropes, stands, tension gauges, mechanical machines, and fuel. Upon arrival, the operator of the truck or trailer will use chains or ropes to tie the wood to the vehicle. Then, the vehicle is switched to towing mode and proceeds to tow the wood to its destination. Some types of vehicles commonly used for towing wood include wheel skidder, a vehicle used to tow and transport wood on terrain with a lot of mud, swamps, or soft ground. Wheel forwarder, a vehicle designed to carry heavy loads and move on difficult terrains, especially used to transport large-sized trees such as old-growth trees. Track forwarder, used when the terrain is extremely difficult, such as on rocky terrain or slippery ground, and has the ability to move on rough and complex terrain. That concludes today's video about cutting and transporting trees. How did you feel about the video? To continue watching our other videos on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and follow us. Click the bell to receive notifications of new content. Have a good day. Goodbye and see you again.